welcome to Oil Debate. This is Kassandra, and this is Raul, my co-anchor. Alright, now, important questions. What comes into mind when you think oil? Running cars, gas. How about oil spills? The wildlife harmed by oil spills. Oil spills happen usually by careless people, but have also happened due to natural disasters. The spilled oil does not sink, rather it floats above the water and creates what is known as an oil slick. This layer brings great challenges to animals that rely on this body of water, for example ducks. Ducks swim in this water, surrounding their bodies in the slimy oil. This oil, as they try to clean themselves, will end up swallowing it and poisoning themselves. The oil does not only harm ducks, they also harm fur-bearing animals in the ocean, and also the feathers. They expose these poor animals to harsh elements.
People are taking oil into a matter where they are looking at it scientifically and are studying it so much. They are actually looking at the trouble it causes now, which is actually ironic because the damage has already been done. People are irresponsible and about what they do and reflect about their actions later. Disposal of oil is done incorrectly and is harming this environment and the things that it consists of, such as plants and animals, and the oil killing our resources because of humans not acting correctly to this resource that does so much to impact our life.
To sum everything up, oil should be properly disposed and not be done incorrectly. Oil should be at least it can be to be reserved, but we have left. It affects the health of animals and their environment. The oil will also affect the health of the people and that are anywhere near this or exposed. This is why we should change our ways, use less fossil fuels, and clean up our messes. We need to stop polluting the ocean with the oil we use, clean up our messes, and reduce our use of fossil fuels. We must keep the world clean.
A Spanish group has studied the effects of oil spills on humans who actually tried to help. They wanted to see if oil could actually damage DNA compared to a non-helper, and in fact, the DNA had changed. DNA was on the path of cancer, and it was not on a path of chromosome repair. Oil is affecting all of us in health and living conditions and simplicity. Oil refineries are polluting our air, land, and water. These big enterprises and their refineries are the main causes of oil spills and uncontrolled living conditions like the BP and Shell oil spills. They are polluting our waters with their every now and then spills, polluting our land with the dumping of their waste, and polluting of our air with the leaking equipment.
Right. The Gulf of Mexico's oil spill was recorded to be the biggest accidental oil spill to ever happen in the U.S. 11 people died in this accident, and about 87 days later, they estimated 4.9 barrels of oil had leaked into the Gulf. This oil has been spread by the wind in the current ocean, causing more and more bunches of oil to clump together. The turtles and the sea animals are being affected by all of this oil, and some have been moved from their habitat to see how the oil will affect their health and the health of the environment.
People need to start acting responsible of how they work with oil and actually doing what's right with oil. Oil is very dependent on humans to be taken out, so there is a chance of an error in the process of oil extraction a human can make and cause a catastrophe on Earth.
Every time an oil spill happens, new laws are applied to oil companies by the government. They are requiring more and more from companies, so they have already started with safety. As John Johnson once said, oil spills take enormous tolls on children communities.
A responsible solution for this oil problem is for humans to start disposing of it correctly. For whatever use they have of it, any leftovers should be dealt with responsibly. Most of the oil comes from those people who weren't taught responsibility, and they are now paying for what they've done. Think smart with something that can harm the economy.
That's it for today, you guys. Catch us next week on Oil Debate. I'm Kassandra.